There's a kind of wisdom that doesn't use words. It doesn't shout, it doesn't explain. It just exists in silence, in stillness, in soft presence. You see it in the way an animal moves, the way it rests without guilt, the way it asks for what it needs without shame. No performance, no justification, just being. Before the world taught you who to be, you lived like that too. You laughed without hesitation, cried without apology, and you didn't hide your joy or your exhaustion. But over time, something changed. You were taught to shrink, to filter, to hold back. You learned shame. Shame for being loud, shame for being sensitive, shame for wanting comfort, shame for resting, for asking, for needing. And so, little by little, you stopped showing up fully. You put parts of yourself in hiding, not because they were wrong, but because someone made you believe they were. But animals don't do that. They don't carry shame in their bodies. They don't question if they're allowed to feel what they feel. They don't judge themselves for being vulnerable. They honor their instincts. When they're tired, they rest. When they're frightened, they seek safety. And when they feel love, they offer it. They don't wait until they're healed to connect. They don't hold their breath waiting for permission. They simply allow themselves to be, fully, honestly, without explanation. And that's not weakness, it's freedom. So you've spent years trying to prove your worth, to be useful, to be valuable, to be enough. You've believed that if you just did more, achieved more, smiled more, said less, maybe then you'd be worthy of peace. Maybe then the pain would stop. But it never does it? Because shame doesn't come from being imperfect. It comes from believing you shouldn't be. And that belief, it doesn't belong to you. It was handed to you by a world that forgot how to be soft. A world that exiled tenderness and replaced it with survival. But you don't have to carry it anymore. You are allowed to rest. And have you noticed that animals are not in a rush? They're not planning 5 steps ahead. They're not rehearsing the past. They are here, right now, fully present in whatever moment is unfolding. They don't see stillness as waste. They don't see quiet as failure. They know that healing doesn't always look like effort. Sometimes it looks like lying in a patch of sun and just breathing. Sometimes it looks like curling up next to someone safe and letting go of the tension in your bones. And that's not avoidance, that's a wisdom. That's healing in its purest form, the kind that doesn't ask you to perform for it. And so you're not broken, you never were. You're not lazy for needing rest. You're not weak for needing time. You're not behind, because there is no race. What hurts isn't your nature. What hurts is the pressure to override it. There's a softness inside you that's never gone away. And maybe it's been buried under armor, under fear, under years bracing for impact. But it's still there. It's the part of you that flinches at cruelty, that cries during music, that reaches for love even when it's been burned. That part of you is not naive. It's sacred, and it's time to let it breathe again. So let go of the shame that says you have to be anyone other than who you are. Let go of the guilt that whispers you're too much. Let go of the belief that your softness is something to hide. You don't need to earn your right to be here. You don't need to fix everything before you can be at peace. And you don't need to pretend to be okay in order to be worthy of love. Your dignity is not determined by your productivity. Your beauty is not defined by perfection. Your value is not measured in how well you hide your pain. Animals know this. They know that being is enough, that survival isn't about striving, it's about returning to your nature, returning to truth, to simplicity, to connection, and growing from there. So remember, not with your mind, but with your heart, with your breath, with your presence. Remember what it means to belong to yourself again, to walk gently, to take up space with kindness, to rest without apology, to let yourself live without the armor for once. Let yourself be seen, raw, real, and unfiltered, because there's no prize for pretending. There's no reward for abandonment of yourself. There is only now, and there is only love and your ability to receive it or not. So if you've forgotten how to live softly, watch the animals. If you've forgotten how to listen, listen to them. If you've forgotten how to forgive yourself, let their presence remind you of what innocence looks like. They're not lesser, they're not beneath us. They are older than our human chaos. They are closer to the source of all things. So honor them, protect them, learn from them, because somewhere inside you, that same wisdom still lives, waiting patiently, watching like they do, ready to lead you home. Thanks for listening, homies. Peace out.